Aries, what's up, y'all? How you doing? How you doing? I want to take a little look here and see what the energies are looking like for you guys for the first week of June. First week of June for Aries. Trying something a little bit different this month. I want to try a little experiment and see if we can do weekly check-ins. I'm not saying that's going to be all we're doing for the month, but I want to add that into the mix. That was actually my wife's idea, and I thought it was a good idea. So, anyway, we're going to see what's going on with the first week of June. So, for those of you who are in need of a personal reading, all the information you need on how to go about doing that is in the description of this video. And for those of you catching this on time, we only got a few more days before my course on how to read the tarot goes bye-bye. That comes to an end on June 1st. I don't know when I'm going to be able to break that course back out, but I am constantly being asked about whether or not I teach the tarot. Always. At minimum once a day, somebody writes me and asks me that. So that's why I decided to make that my course for the month of May. And it's a two-part course, but I think it's very, very helpful. And it's still the most popular course to this day of all the ones that I have. Anyway, though, links in the description. Remember, June 1st, it goes bye-bye. Okay, I just want to start this off. Person that you're dealing with. We're going to keep it simple. Person Aries is dealing with. What's the energy surrounding this person and this situation, universe? Person Aries is dealing with. Ooh, man, the Lover's card. Wow, okay. Really, really crazy, intense connection. Not something that you could just very easily let go of or walk away from or move on from. It's almost like this person is a part of you, you know? Hang on. Could be a Gemini for some of you, I guess. But, man, if you're not in communication with this person, I feel like they're kind of giving you the silent treatment. But honestly, regardless of whether you're in communication or not, I'm still kind of feeling like this person, they care a lot more than they're letting on. For some of you, it may kind of look like they just don't really give much of a shit at all. That's not true. That's not true. They care a lot more than they're letting on. A whole lot more. I don't really think they want to be the one to really come forward. And, they got their guard up, dude. They are very, very guarded towards you. I really honestly think, though, look, Ten of Cups, Lover's card, they pretty much feel the same way about you. They do. I mean, you take up just as much space in their head as they take up in yours. They are just as bothered by this situation as you are. And the Empress, look at that, man. I mean, but I just think that they're putting on this front. It's like they don't want you to know quite how they're feeling. For some reason, I don't know why. King of Swords. King of Swords, King of Pentacles, kind of acting like they don't really care, looking like they don't really care, but that's not true. I think they do. Could be a Pisces for some of you. Could be a fellow Aries. Could be anybody. You know, those are just energies. Okay, well, let me dig in deeper at their feelings and their intentions. Let me see if I can get a closer, deeper look at this person's feelings and intentions. I want to know what their intentions are. That's the main thing I want to look at. We kind of got their feelings. I really want to look at their intentions. So what's the point of acting like that? You know, there always has to be some kind of reason. If I have feelings for you and I'm not letting you know what those feelings are, there has to be a reason for that. People don't just do that willy-nilly for no fucking reason, you know? So, Ten of Wands reversed. Honestly, I kind of feel like they don't want to have these feelings. That's kind of what it feels like to me. They don't want to feel so deeply about this connection and about this situation. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what I think it is, honestly. I think they wish that they could just flip a switch and turn these feelings off. And maybe in their mind, they think that the first step towards doing that is pretending that they already have, you know? Or, like, worst case scenario, they want you to think that they have. Maybe that has a lot to do with it too. That at least they can sleep at night if you think they've moved on from this. But I think at the end of the day, the goal is kind of like a fake it till you make it type of thing. You know, they want to just kind of pretend that they've moved on from this, pretend that they don't care, and then hopefully the feelings will go away. You know? Wow, okay. Well, let's see if they're taking any action towards you. Is this person taking any action towards Aries? What actions are they taking? Let's see. Or outcome. Actions or outcome. Either or. Queen of Coins reverse. Queen of Cups reversed. Star reversed. So yeah, I am kind of feeling like they're probably gonna start slowly inching their way towards you to try to, like, I don't know if I would say hint. They might try to slowly get your attention with like little hints and shit, you know? Because, you know, the whole fake it till you make it thing, that only works for so long. This is going to start weighing on them very heavily. They're not going to be able to put on this show for very much longer. Because, you know, contrary to what they're trying to do, their feelings aren't just going to turn off. Matter of fact, it's probably going to start bothering them a lot more and weighing on them heavier and heavier and heavier, to the point to where you're probably going to start seeing at least little subtle hints of different behavior. But I don't think they're necessarily coming straight forward and spilling their guts on the table, you know. But I think you're gonna notice a small, subtle change in behavior, very kind of covert and clandestine. But see, then that gets even slipperier, because when we're just moving with hints and suggestions, and there's already a shitload of tension, well, that could take a very violent turn into a brick wall. I don't want to get in my ahead of myself, though. That's like a cliffhanger, dude. I can't stand it when that comes through like that. Let's, you know what? Let's grab the advice. Let's just jump into the advice so that we can maybe prevent that from happening. What's the advice for Aries? What is the advice? Ooh, Page of Swords. Hang on. And the Nine of Wands. So I think y'all need to have a conversation, but this is saying don't let your guard down. I mean, I don't think you're going to let your guard down anyway. I don't think so. But I do think a conversation does need to be had. I think so. See, the thing that's driving me nuts about this right here is that if the two of you got on the same page at the same time, working towards the same goal, you could make this work. You could. There's potential to lay a really solid foundation and make this happen. But if we don't got both people working together as a team, and right now it's not really looking like they're trying to work together as a team, it ain't gonna work then. So, I don't know. I think a conversation would be beneficial, but just don't let your guard down. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not saying don't talk to this person. I'm not saying stay away from them. Just if you have a conversation with them, don't let your guard down. Don't get sucked into anything that you're confused about. How about that? If you're confused about it, if you're not 100% sure what this person's intentions are, don't get sucked into it. Keep them at an arm's distance. And maybe let them know that somehow, some way. I don't know how you would communicate that really, but, let it be known that, and unless I know exactly what it is that you're wanting, stay the fuck away from me. I'm not going to, play this game where you're stringing me along and hot and cold, on and off, in and out, acting one way one day, another way another day. I'm not doing that. I'm not playing no guessing games with nobody. You either let me know exactly where I stand with you, exactly what you want, or stay the hell away from me. That's what, if anything, I would, if you choose to have a conversation with this person, I would lay that point on the table. Okay? Let's see what's due to come in next for Aries. Anything new coming in for the first week of June? Anything new coming in for the first week of June? Uh-oh, 7 of Cups. Well, hang on. Ace of Cups reversed. I think you have a lot of options available to you. And you might take a few different opportunities into consideration. I'm thinking that there of all the options that you have available to you, there is one particular person that does have an interest in you, but I'm honestly thinking it may not be somebody that you're all that interested in. Almost kind of feels like you turning down or avoiding a love offer. That's what it feels like to me. Because we got the Knight of Cups and the upright. And if you don't really know anything about the tarot, that's obviously somebody coming forward with a love offer. But then we got the Lovers and the Ace of Cups reversed. And then we got the 8 of Pentacles in the heart of the spread, which could indicate for some of you, maybe it's somebody at the workplace. And maybe a couple of you know who I'm talking about. If you have somebody at the workplace that's maybe a little bit flirty and you're like, no. Either way, though, whether you know who I'm talking about or not, I just don't really feel like whoever this is somebody that you look at that way, somebody that you ever really, maybe you haven't even thought about them that way. I just don't really feel like you're into it. Not really. So some of you may just be choosing to kind of withdraw and, I don't really want to say isolate, but just kind of do you. And if something serious and meaningful, a genuine connection isn't making its way in, I don't want nobody. I'd rather just kind of be alone and, do my own thing than just kind of willy-nilly bringing people into my life. So some of you for the first week of June might make the decision to just kind of go on a little bit of a solo journey, honestly. Okay, well, that's okay. Well, then, that throws a monkey wrench in my flow then. Well, I guess let's just get the advice then. Since there's not really... let's just get the advice. What's the advice for Aries? Advice for Aries for the first week of June. 2 of Pentacles reversed. 2 of Cups reversed. Knight of Wands, yo. Hey, if it don't feel right, then don't do it. Very simple. Very, very simple. Ooh, yeah. And we got the Seven of Swords here. Yeah. Don't be afraid to turn something down that doesn't feel right. Don't be afraid to do that. Now, me personally, there's so many different ways that you can approach that. If it was me in your shoes, I'm the type to where the way it feels right off the rip, I'm going to make a decision. You don't necessarily have to be, though. You don't have to make a split-second decision based on how it feels immediately in the moment. If you want to, keep somebody at an arm's distance and feel the energy out for a period of time. Because, hey, maybe they're having a bad day, and that's why the energy feels funny. Maybe you're having a bad day. Maybe if we wait a little bit, our energies can kind of come together. If you're not very experienced with energy work, then sometimes that can be kind of hard to differentiate, whether or not we're a vibrational mismatch or I'm just having a bad day or you're just having a bad day. But no, don't be afraid, especially somebody that's kind of confusing you and, it just kind of feels like something's a little bit off. You can't quite tell exactly what it is. Maybe they're being a little bit inconsistent. When you meet somebody and something just feels funny and you can't quite tell what it is. I'm going to tell you what, dude. I don't know about you, but me personally, every time I get a feeling about somebody, it's always right. Every time. Every time. Now, have I always listened to that feeling? No. No. But it always turns out to be right. Every time. Every time. Not just sometimes. Not just most of the time. Every time. Every time. Every time. Every single time I have a feeling about somebody, it's always right. So, yeah. Don't spend too much time, letting your thoughts get the best of you, playing the what if game. If something doesn't quite feel right, somebody's acting a little bit confusing, a little bit funny, a little bit weird, don't be afraid to take a step back and say, no, I'm good. I'm going to do me. And again, I don't know why that's coming through for you because, I don't know, most Aries that I've met don't have a problem with that. Maybe there's a few of you out there who may. I don't know. But, for the first week of June, especially if it's somebody you ain't really feeling. Oh, let me say this one too. If you set a boundary with somebody and they don't respect that boundary, that tells you a lot about that person. Somebody's trying to make their way into your life, and for whatever reason, you ain't feeling it. Whether you're just not interested, period, or you have other things to focus on, or you just want to play it safe and you set a boundary and somebody is not respecting your boundary. They're pushing and poking and testing and pushing and poking and testing. Persistence, there's a time and a place for persistence. Okay? Time and a place for everything. But when it comes to another person and their boundaries and their personal space, persistence can indicate somebody that has no respect for you. And I know in the dating world that can be a really slippery thing because, isn't somebody supposed to pursue? Doesn't that indicate that they're interested? Well, you're walking a tightrope in a windstorm with that. Because, if I don't respect you, I don't give a fuck what your boundaries are. I'm going to figure out a way to test your boundaries and get what I want. If I do respect you, if I have good intentions and my intentions are pure and you set a boundary, okay. All right, then. If that's how you feel. Now, don't be going. Some people like to play games. This is another way people get caught up in toxic relationships. Some people like to play games to see if somebody's going to be persistent. They like to play hard to get. And you see some people try to trigger that persistence in a person, and they think that's a good thing. Oh, okay, well, I played hard to get, and they were really, 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 really persistent. So that must mean they really fucking want me. And then 6 months, 8 months later on down the line, they turn out to be an abusive fucking psychopath. Well, duh. That was a stupid fucking game to play. Basically, you just conducted an experiment that proved to you this person has no respect for you. And you're wondering why they turned out to be an abusive psychopath? Duh. A person who is not trying to manipulate you will respect your boundaries. A person who's trying to manipulate you will not respect your boundaries. And that's not a good thing. I don't know who needs to hear that. Some of you know that to be common sense, but believe it or not, I see that game being played all the fucking time. All the fucking time. All the time. If somebody don't want you in their life, stay the fuck away from them. All right? So, anyway, yeah. All right, y'all. Well, I feel like those were the messages that my Aries family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget the information for personal readings is right down there in the description. And don't forget, we got a few more days until June 1st. And that's when my course on how to read the tarot is going bye-bye. Okay? All the links for everything you need are in the description. And I'm out of here now, y'all. I will see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity. Stay blessed.